Next up, another indie that took the scene by storm, developed by only one person, a fellow French person like myself, Nicolas. He worked on the title for over 4 years, and the effort was not for nothing. Pumpkin Jack has almost 2,000 reviews on Steam. It's an old school 3D platformer with a crazy spooky soundtrack. And so, about that soundtrack, Yohan Jager, the composer, he's going to show you some of the nifty tricks he did to implement the audio in the game. Let's tune into him.
Hello everyone, my name is Yohan Jager and I compose the music for Pumpkin Jack. So I'm really excited to make this video for you to show you some of my tips on how I made this soundtrack. So this video will be in two parts, separated in two parts, and the first one will be on the track of the witch, and the second one is going to be like a little tutorial about how to make a spooky remix of classical bass. So let's dive into it. So I decided to start this video with the opening of the game because we can hear the witch sound, which is those three notes are the sound of the witch. So now take a look at the track. Okay, so what do we have? We have the witch theme, we have a section with perks, section with female choir, a harmonical bass, a melodic part, and different instruments that we're gonna talking about later, like double bass speeds. Okay, so to start it, let's take a look at the harmonical bass. So we have a Laotian zither, which is a string instrument from Laos, so an Asian country, and it sounds like that. So it's one of the instruments to make my harmonical bass. So it's a really cool instrument because they are really long notes with long release too, so it occupies really well the space. So that's exactly what we need to make our bass. We also have a Honky Tonky piano. So Honky Tonky piano is the piano you can hear in Western movies. So it's an upright piano, a little bit untuned, so a bit crook sound. So really interesting for Halloween movies, Halloween games, because it's a weird sound, not really clean, not really shiny. So that's exactly what we want for that type of game. So let's take a look to the piano. So that's perfect to add some percussion, because it's our harmonical bass. We have a harmonical progression, and I needed to add some percussion into this harmonical bass. So if we listen to the zither and the piano. Sounds cool. And now we're gonna add some cello starts, like a percussion instrument who makes really high-pitched notes, but in this case not gonna be some high-pitched notes, it's gonna be more in the medium high. One more time, it's like a pad to fill the space. So we have our harmonical bass with the harmonical progression, and it fills really well the space. So what do we have now? We have some percussion. So I talked to you about Laotian zither, and what is cool with that instrument is, not this one, is to make different sound, different percussion sound with that instrument. So take a look to this one. Really cool. And all those sounds is recorded or are recorded from the zither. So it's really cool because we can use them to make a cool perk line. We're gonna make different perk lines. So here's the first one. Up. Interesting. Let's listen to the second one. Okay, start to become something interesting, and I felt not completely full, so I decided to add some Indian perks. So it adds some basses. Let's listen with the zither. Okay, start to become really cool. Wow. So that's it for the perk section. We have the harmonical basses later on. So that's it for the perk section. And now we're gonna listen to the harmonical bass and the perk to see how it goes. Okay, that's cool, but maybe it misses something important. The basses. So I decided to add some double basses, PIDs. So that would be perfect. Let's listen to the PIDs. It's gonna be perfect. And why not adding some interesting sound? Because for the witch, you can imagine enter to a shop, and the witch is inside, and she's selling some potions. Why not? So why not to put some boiling potion in there? Interesting. With bids? Harmonical bass? And the perk. And that's it for our introduction. So we're going to take a look to the witch theme. So we have 4 layers, 1, 2, 3, 4 for the theme, And let's take a look to the first one. So really good sound from Spooker. So I decided to add one more on it. So really high-pitched notes for that sound. And the third one is a clavecin. So the clavecin is a really cool instrument because it's a pinch strings instrument. So it adds some percussion, and it fits really well for that type of sound. So let's hear the three sound together. Wow. So really square, really simple, and really efficient. So now I forgot to talk about the first one, because with our introduction I forgot to say that there is a part with a bit of the witch theme, because I wanted to add some glimpse before having the main theme. So I decided to make this sound, to put this sound on the introduction. Just 3 notes. To prepare the theme. With the introduction, it goes like that. So it's just a little glimpse before having the main theme. So it prepares the player to enter in the main part. So we can hear all those parts together, and it sounds like that. That's it for the witch. Okay, so for the second part of that video, I'm gonna show you how to make a spooky remix of a classical piece. So in the third level of Pumpkin Jack, Jack got his head stolen by the merchant while he was talking to the witch, and to take it back, he has to pursue the couple who is escaping in a bewitched coach. So for that sequence, the developer wanted me to make a spooky remix of a well-known classical piece by Rossini, William Tell Overture. So it's a really famous piece. You're gonna recognize it very quickly. So let's take a look at it. Okay. First thing we have to do to make a spooky remix is to make a smaller version of the classical piece. So let's take a look at it. We have the classical version and we have the spooky sauce. Okay, so we have to make a smaller version of the classical piece because as we're gonna add some tracks, multiple tracks to make the spooky sauce, so you have to make a smaller version of the classical one, because after that it's gonna be huge, and you're gonna have volume issues and it's not gonna be clear in the final mix, so it's really important to do that. So let's take a look. What do we have with the classical version? So as you can hear it, it misses some instrument, and that's completely normal because it's the smaller version. We have a different instrument to make the theme, the main theme, which is this one with the strings. We also have the trumpet just here. So we have the basics. We have accompaniment from a tuba. We have some perks. We have different type of instrument for that that part, and it misses some instrument to make it bigger and to make it really full and complete. But that's exactly what we want because we're gonna add the spooky sauce. So what do we have in the spooky sauce? We have a lyrical section, we have a rhythmical section, and an arpeggio section. Okay, so let's start with the lyrical section, and we have a female choir. Female choir, I love to compose with the female choir because it's really inspiring, and for a Halloween game, it's perfect because it's like Ghost when you listen to female choir. Listen to that. So it's perfect for a creepy mood, mysterious mood, and all that stuff. So we're gonna double it with strings tremolo. It's perfect for that because tremolo, it's like a string, shaking. Take a look at it. It's not the full sound of violin, it's really shaking, so it's perfect for a creepy mood. With female choir. Okay, start to become interesting. And the best for the end, the theremin. Okay, so this instrument is mostly used when you make a scene with the aliens. So it's perfect for that because it's not the perfect instrument for a Halloween mood, but if you use it correctly and if you combine this instrument with, like I did with female choir and strings, it blends really well, and at the end we have a good mood. So let's listen to it. Really famous instrument that you can listen to it in The Simpsons. In some episodes, when aliens comes to meet the Simpsons family, it's always with a theremin. So that kind of sound is really creepy, it's perfect for that. So that's it for the lyrical section. Take a look at the rhythmical section. What do we have? We have the xylophone who's gonna play the main theme. So it's one of my favorite instruments because for Halloween games, because when you listen to a xylophone, automatically I see a guy playing drums on skeletons. So it makes me laugh, and I love this type of sound. So I used it a lot for the complete soundtrack of Pumpkin Jack. As well as the clavecin, we already talked about that instrument. So harmonical and rhythmic section. Perfect. We also have Honky Tonky piano, so the saloon piano. Perfect. What do we have? Cello peds and double basses peds. It's perfect for the bouncy and funny side of that spooky remix. Let's hear it. So we already in the funny mood with bits from the basses. Really cool. And also, like I said with the theremin, I have bells, tubular bells. And when you listen to bells, it's perfect for Halloween games because you always have the feeling you're in a cemetery. Let's listen to it. So funeral mood. Really cool. I used bells a lot also in the complete soundtrack. So, xylophone with the skeleton. Really spooky, really spooky. Honky Tonky piano for the crook piano sound. Clavecin, who brings the vampire mood, the vampire in his castle. That's really cool. Cello peds, double basses peds, and the bells. We can listen to that section. Cool, so it starts really well. Okay, so we have our spooky cells. We have the rhythmical section. Let's hear both of them, and we're gonna talk about the arpeggio section just after that. Here we go. Okay, so it sounds great, but no, it's not completely full in my opinion, so I decided to add an arpeggio section with the harp, the marimba, and the pizza played by violin. Okay, so the harp is really cool for mysterious mood. Oops. So it sets already the spooky mood with that kind of instrument. Okay, one of my favorite too, the marimba. Marimba for me, it's like the where is it? The xylophone, but like muted. It's a muted version of the xylophone. It's more soft. So it's like skull skeleton, but softer. Really cool. And to add the bouncy side, the funny side, the violin pits. So I voluntarily delete the first beat with the violin to make the place for the cello pits. If we listen just the pits, cello, double basses, and violin, So it's like a trio. Okay, so let's listen to the complete arpeggio section. So this section is going to blend the whole thing together with the rhythmical and the lyrical. Cool, so let's listen to the spooky souls from the beginning. And that's it, we have our spooky souls. Now let's listen to the classical version, and after we're gonna listen to the complete track. That's it for our spooky remix. So really important, first thing, you have to make a smaller version of the classical bass, and after that, for the spooky sauce, you go with the basics, xylophone of course, female choir, theremin, tremolo strings, clavecin, really cool, honky tonky piano. It's my choice, but you can do whatever you want. It's for the percussive side and a bit untuned, so it's really cool. Double basses, cello pits for the bounciness, the funny side. The bells, really cool, the bells. Let's listen to the bell one more time with pits. Those bells. And after that, some arpeggios with the harp, marimba, and violin pits. So we have our spooky remix. Thanks a lot for watching this video. I hope you liked it, and you know a bit more about me, about how I made the soundtrack. So thanks a lot, and see you next time.